Hello and welcome, any and all Capricorns out there. This is going to be a collective tarot reading for Capricorn placements, and if you are familiar with your birth chart, you may have Capricorn in your chart, and if you do, this is a collective reading for any Capricorn placements, so just be mindful that to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but also in the sense of like the area that your chart could be talking about and really trying to like hone in on that. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things. A lot of different people may or may not resonate with these with most of the reading, so just remember to always take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Also, welcome in anyone that is watching this live. I am recording this live on my Twitch stream, so if you want to come check it out live, you can come over to Twitch, but if you're already here, welcome. We have two tarot decks that I have not touched in a long time, and this tarot deck I don't think I've used for readings in close to 2 years. I don't think this deck has ever come up unless it's like very hard, heavy, deep energy that's very difficult to understand and or bring up. So this is Tarot Illuminati. I don't think it's called Tarot of Illuminati. I think it's just called Tarot Illuminati, and it's just very like bright, vibrant, visual, very like picture-esque kind of a thing. Like they look like people, like actual like humans they just like took pictures of, kind of a thing. So like there's a lot going on in this card. Kind of hard to see what's all going on in there, but that's kind of the art style of it to best depict it. It's very, very like heavy graphics per se. I don't know how else to word it. But this is going to be a general modified past, present, future spread. I have this way I do the readings that I kind of discovered kind of on my own. When you get into tarot, you kind of just find your own way that you like reading cards. It can be like there are solid tarot readers, knowledgeable tarot readers out there that will do the most basic tarot reading in the sense of the structure. Like a big thing is the Celtic cross. That's a type of like tarot spread. That's a very like basic tarot spread. I don't want to say basic as in like it doesn't really give you much, but it's like a very standard tarot spread that like every tarot reader knows about and or has done at some point. But once you find your way, the way that I do it, and I kind of like doing it now, is we get the past, present, future energy in 3 cards. So we will pull 3 cards from this tarot deck. Then with another one, we will clarify each cards. So each card will get 3 cards, and then it will basically add up to 12 cards. And if anyone's familiar with past, present, future spreads, they also have a 9-card past, present, future spread. So it kind of is like a modified backwards version of a 9-card past, present, future spread. I like it. I think it's very interesting. I am getting the sense that we just got to get right into what you need to hear. I'm not sure if I want to like make thumbnails or if I just want to like upload these videos as I go. Give me one more little second here. Knocking off the dust. So, I said earlier that I have not touched these tarot decks in fucking ages. And Capricorn, I can already tell you that we're bringing up some shit that not only happened probably about 5 years ago, but something that you thought you got over 5 years ago. And that you thought, that's said and done, I don't need to worry about none of that. That's not my problem, not my circus, not my performers, whatever you want to call it. And there is an energy of disingenuous here, but it's also, I'm here to say it as like, you were trying to do something for your own good, and you may have fallen short in a very, very important area. Let's say you got everything right except for like the main part. And I think this is the big part that hasn't let you truly overcome a lot of healing, because there ain't no reason these decks are out other than to tell me that we're bringing up some shit that was from a long time ago. Like, that is the 100% energy I'm feeling with this. What do they need to hear for their highest good, Capricorn? What is going on? Queen of Swords, Ten of Swords. I'm gonna let the fellow readers of tarot interpret that, because Jesus fucking Christ. You already know what's for you, but you don't know what it feels like it truly is meant for you. Not in any, like, particular sense, but it's like, you may know almost everything you need. You're sitting here like, okay, yeah, I need this, 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 and this. And I'm trying to make sure the room's not getting too smoky, because I have some incense right over here. I need this, 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 and this, and that's all that I need. And then someone's like, well, what about this? You never know if this is gonna happen. You're like, no, that would never happen. Or maybe someone's like, you don't need all of that because you could do all of this in one thing, or make it easier for yourself. And then you're like, no, I need this, this, this. It's like, you're sure about what you need, but there's a big energy of not being able to fully express yourself in the part that is the missing link, like the missing part, the thing that I feel like people always point to you and has kind of bugged you over the years of like, hey, there's a little thing over here that is a bit better and can be done just in a different way and still get the exact same result that you're looking for. And I feel like you have lived a life wanting to do it your way for a long time because of an energy of lack in the past. Like, because you weren't able to do things on your own before, you feel like you have to do everything on your own now. And that's where it becomes codependent and not just I do things for myself. You want to do everything yourself, and that's a big difference of doing things for yourself or doing everything for yourself. And I really want to preface that we're going to get into probably some nitty-gritty of some past, like, hurts and pains and shitty kind of things. Not everything. It just feels like, oh, you can't ignore what you know you've been ignoring for the longest time. I think you feel that it's been fine to, like, ignore some of this and feel like it's not going to affect you in any way. But then you're sitting here being like, oh, I wonder why I feel this way. I wonder what's affecting me, kind of a thing. Saying something's not affecting you and then wondering why something is affecting you the way it is, and it's like trying your hardest to just ignore the correlation, ignore the connection that is being made to the thing that you're ignoring. We have a card of literal, like, indecision, not knowing what to do, and sometimes when it's in reverse, it can be like, you're kind of sure, but you really do know. I see this as you do know, but you are forcing yourself to ignore it. And you've been seeing the signs. And this could be not only for the, like, things that, like, we just have to be honest with ourselves about. That could be like, hey, we're not treating ourselves right, or we're not treating people right, or treating the situation right. Whatever you gotta be honest about with yourself, be honest. But at the same time, this could be things that are also good for us. Like, you tried your best. You thought you were doing the right thing. There is a big, giant, I swear I thought I had this right. And the only thing you had right was, you had it right if you had to do it all alone. If you were the only one that had to do all that, yeah, you got to do everything yourself. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing everything yourself. But if you have people that are willing to help you, let them kind of help in the way that they can help. And it's not going to be exactly how you would do things. But at least they're helping, and then maybe one day you can show them how to do it exactly how you do it, and then they'll be just as good as you. Who knows? But Two of Swords is out here with the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands gives me this, like, you can't ignore every sign and synchronicity you've been seeing. You can't ignore this. And I feel like for anyone who's watching, who is seeking out any of these, like, tarot readings, you are really trying to understand that thing that you've been missing, and it's yourself. It's that part of you that has really, like, taken apart all of the things leading to the truth to be like, no, it can't be. Just so it's easier to say that and not have to think about it, because at the end of the day, you probably were telling yourself, I have this, and this to do, and I don't have time to worry about this thing, and, you know, actually understand what I did in this situation, or what happened, what transpired. I have things to do. Yeah, you do, Capricorn, but who's telling you to do a lot of those things? You may have to go do a job and, you know, laundry, the dishes. Yeah, we get that. But those things you do on the side, the things you do for yourself on the side, and the things that you like to do in general and enjoy, what and who and where'st is the energy of you being kind of, like, told to do that? There is an energy of, oh yeah, well, I can't really focus on my emotions because I started this project and I just gotta finish this project over here. I gotta finish this thing over here. And then you finish that project and the universe comes back around being like, hey, Capricorn, you know, you ready to, you know, handle those emotions? And you're like, oh, but hold on, I got this thing and I'm really passionate about it and it just makes me feel great. And I think this is actually going to help the thing that you, universe, are talking about, you know? And the universe was like, yeah, kind of, but hold on. And then you're already out the door. This has only worked so good for so long, and this is the moment where the universe is literally, like, having a meeting set up and shutting the door behind you, and almost not necessarily giving you an ultimatum, but it's like locking the door behind you and making sure that they understand where your direction is, because you've been iffy about your direction for so long that even the universe doesn't understand where you want to go. And it's telling you that, hey, if you want to move forward in a path that will be for the betterment of not only yourself, your life, but just your whole, like, being fulfilled in everything that you want to do, everything that you desire or just could even dream of like, oh, that can never happen, but it could, if things actually turned out in a nice way, this could actually have a good outcome. There are signs and synchronicities you've been seeing and are seeing even currently. And this is a whole, like, tarot reading of you. I don't even need the rest of the cards at this point. These 2 cards told me everything. Because the fact that there's no future energy out here tells me that you need to make this choice. 8 of Wands is all of these signs and synchronicities and ideas and all these thoughts that are like, this could be for the betterment of my soul. If there needs to be anything said of the future energy or what comes after, I'm just curious because I feel like the ball is in your court. It almost feels like this is how the reading's supposed to go. But I personally want to see what other card may come out just to kind of, like, get that confirmation and get the rest of the confirmation. It would just be, like, confirmation of these are the things that the reading is talking about. Like, you can't ignore it. I'm not even trying to bullshit you or even say that, like, what you're doing is a bad thing, because the thing that you could be ignoring could be something good. Like, it could be the best thing that you could have ever thought of in the world, or the best, like, version of yourself that you see yourself being, but you already are, kind of, and you just need to break out of that little shell. But I will say this is a very heavy energy I'm feeling, and I want all of you to go to every part, every single thing that you feel like you've ignored. Every single thing. It's a checklist. It's a checklist for the intuitively divine path that you can choose for yourself. Not the path that's set out for you, that, like, it sounds, when I say it like that, it sounds predetermined, when I believe in free will, so I believe everyone has free will, and this is the biggest thing of, like, free will is screaming at you. It's not even the universe, it's, like, literally the act and essence of free will is screaming at you. And I feel like that part of the essence of free will screaming at you is yourself, is that you that's like, we are so exhausted. Why, Capricorn, why do we keep ignoring ourselves here? Because ignoring these deep parts of yourself inherently ignore parts of yourself that could grow. And it's almost like clearing out a part of you so you can fill it in with the good stuff and not have to worry about what will come afterwards. You kind of take everything as it comes in. It doesn't really bother you. It doesn't faze you. You sit there and be like, oh, I got a plan. All right, I'm going to do it. But some of you sit here and you have these things and you're like, oh, I got a plan, but I don't really feel like it, and I don't really want to do it this way because I don't think these people really know what they're talking about if they say they're going to help me. I don't think anyone knows what they're talking about. That's how you feel. I'm so sorry, Capricorn. I feel like Capricorn gets called out all the fucking time, but I'm going to be honest. Capricorn energy is very, very... They like control because they understand what builds not just a tower or a city, what builds an entire economy, a civilization. That is why Capricorn is such a heavy energy. Capricorn is the embodiment of, like, an empire. It is a serious, profound energy when it is truly brought out in its like authentic form, and authentic and genuine for the highest good form, because Capricorn can be very prickly. I see it almost as it can be the giant tree from that movie Avatar that everyone lived in. Everyone in this colony lived in this giant tree, and that is the earth energy of Capricorn. It can sustain a whole colony and civilization of people. But it can also be the absolute destruction of that thing as well. So in that movie, the Avatar, with the aliens and stuff, Jake Sully, the big tree that everyone lives in, falls. It's a bit of a spoiler, but it is a very like metaphorical tower moment. But I feel like whenever you have caused change in your life, Capricorn, it has been not just groundbreaking, it has been something that like people remember forever. Oh, Capricorn, like someone pissed off a Capricorn and the Capricorn clapped back in that way, and you're like, you're befuddled and speechless. Well, people who know that Capricorn are kind of not speechless. It's almost like you, throughout the movie of the Avatar, you understand the destruction that the like basic Americans have over all of the power and the destructive power that they have because of all of the weaponry in their equipment and stuff, and it's all high tech and yada yada yada. So like, we aren't surprised at the devastation if you're on one side of it, but it's still just as like, holy fuck kind of a thing. And understanding these two sides of Capricorn can really enlighten you, or really, it's kind of this make it or break it. I think Capricorn has an energy, and I need to really research astrology, so I don't know everything about Capricorn energy. I just know from my own experiences with various Capricorns, and I generally know from like earth energy, air energy. I kind of just take little bits of information here and there, collect my information. What you sniffing for, ma'am? But if you choose to ignore your own healing, you're ignoring your own enlightenment. You're ignoring the thing that I believe you're trying to seek, not only for yourself, but the betterment of your own nature and everyone's own nature, the nature around you. It's that betterment of the whole tree was giving everyone a home, a sustainable place to live, to like commune, to educate, to just build and even train, because they were up at the top of the trees with like those dragon birds. Those, I don't know what they're called, but the birds that are in the Avatar movie, coolest fucking thing. Also, anything that has to do with flying, like How to Train Your Dragon is cool. Anyway. You want to be the thing that is sustainable. But you have to understand what could lead to your own destruction. To truly understand how to really, like, solidify your roots into the ground even stronger. And it gives me this energy. I hate to use the Avatar movie as an example because I don't like thinking like this of the, oh, what if the colony just, you know, believed Jake or believed the main character in saying that, you know, that they have to get out of here and stuff like that. It feels like a bit of a hit to the ego of like that whole colony that was there, the whole community was just like, we can't fucking abandon this place. What do you mean? Like, we can't just leave it. And I feel it's almost like understanding sometimes It's like that's the choice that is made. If you are the essentially the leader of that colony, what would you choose? Would you choose to take everyone and run, or would you choose to hold your ground and essentially be a martyr? Because that tree, we all knew was coming down in that movie. But from the perspective of the people there, the community there, they don't understand what's going on. They've never seen those fucking flying things in the sky. They have their own flying things that they've seen, but not that. It's understanding the choice and understanding that neither choice is bad. Neither choice is a wrong choice. There is an understanding of standing up and wanting to fight, and there's an understanding in wanting to protect your people and evacuate. That's the biggest thing of truly understanding all to who you are. The choice of ignoring your healing and not ignoring your healing. Because when you choose to truly try and heal and go up this mountain, but you keep ignoring each and everything that you see on this mountain of healing, you're going to keep finding yourself on this mountain again and again and again and again with that lantern and just wondering where the sunlight is. The sun is reversed on the bottom of the deck. I feel like a lot of Capricorns really have a big choice in healing here. And it could be for a lot of you, it could be this energy of you need to not ignore the things that you are genuinely really good at. You've been ignoring yourself for too long and needing to understand where and why you've been ignoring it. It's like ignoring the part of you that makes you you, and almost thinking like, oh, but I'm all these bad things. I could never be that good thing. And it's like, the whole part of good and bad is that it's subjective to the moment. Hello. It's kind of scared me for a second.
Oh, did you forget I was in there?
No, I heard you. I just wasn't expecting you to, like, I thought you were, like, in the middle of just, like, changing things, and then you're like, oh, no, I'm done. And I was like, oh, okay.
I need to pee.
Aww. Just a doggo following her father. A simple little doggo following her father around. You could really understand. I feel like there's Capricorns out there. You don't have to be like a Capricorn sun. You could have a Capricorn moon or a rising or whatever. Understanding how, what turns a bad person into a good person and a good person into a bad person. Choices we make, or choices we choose to not make at all. Like, think about how a simple thing that you could call CPS for is literally neglect. People just choosing not to do things for their child. Like, that essentially creates what probably was once a good person. Maybe, who knows? Sometimes people could always choose bad choices in life, but I feel like this is the all-encompass focus on the healing that has been slightly ignored. Of you're focusing too much on the specifics of your memories and not focusing on what were the choices that were made here, and what were the choices that can be made in the future. I'm going to clarify the Two of Swords here. I'm curious if, why, and but why is this healing and these choices being ignored? Because you have such a giant room of opportunity. And for the people who know what they need to do, I know you're only taking this with a grain of salt. Some people who are really aligned and on their intuitive path, there's things that you're just getting confirmation about in this reading. Other people, I really want you to understand how being wholeheartedly honest with ourselves is probably the greatest gift and bit of healing we can give ourselves. Clarifying the Two of Swords, we have the Ace of Pentacles, Temperance. Last card here for the Two of Swords. The Ace of Pentacles and the Temperance give me this: you had an opportunity of healing all this time, and the only person you didn't choose this whole time was yourself. But why didn't you choose yourself? That's the big thing you need to ask yourself. The Two of Cups here is almost, it's not usually, it's not always about two people or two separate parties. Sometimes it could be looking at two parts of yourself. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the great, the amazing, the beautiful, the gorgeous, the mediocre, the average, the quite alright, the... like every little part of you, each side of you that makes you you, and understanding what part has been fulfilling and what part hasn't been fulfilling. And understanding that there's always going to be people that are going to shit on your unhappiness. If you are going to try and make yourself happy, there will always be people that are going to try and be angry and be upset or just be annoyed and like, oh yeah, whatever, you know? As long as you are truly being honest with yourself during your healing process, if you're truly bringing to light the things that you've been ignoring, who cares what these people are saying? Because at that point, who genuinely cares what these people are saying? You genuinely feel that energy, because all of your focus is now into yourself and not into what are these people going to say. Oh, this person's going to say, I told you so, or this, that, and the other. And I think the complete opposite would happen. The more that you choose yourself, the more that people want to celebrate. The more that people want you to, like, actually be happy. Because I feel like you have spent a long time feeling like you can't relax, feeling like you can't have moments of joy. And now that you've been, you know, finding these small moments of joy in life, you feel like, oh, well, this is it. This is all that I can muster. This is all I deserve or I'm allowed to have. And it's like, not really. The more that you heal, the more you make room for more to receive. And the more that people want to celebrate with you. Three of Cups gives me this energy of, like, you have a lot of people that are going to be so just, like, happy when you really recognize yourself and just genuinely find that healing. Because there's a part of you, I feel like, there's this energy you have around it of, I can't heal that. That's never been able to be healed. No one can heal that. It's not something that I'm supposed to heal or I'm allowed to heal. It's just gonna be there forever. And it's like, no, like, people want to see you happy. People want to see you happy. I feel like that's the big thing of some people. Some of you Capricorns just feel angry and think that everyone's just gonna, like, say this, that, and the other, and what if there was a completely different thing going on here? What if you had people actually on your side? And what if you had those old, feels like old things reconciling with you? Not like, maybe you pick up an old skill or thing, hobby you used to do like years ago, and you pick it back up again, and people are like, oh, you're doing that again? I used to love when you did that. And also, I wish you would do that more. You seem so happy when you're doing that, kind of a thing. Maybe they're not saying that outright, but I feel like that's kind of the energy of the conversation. And there are moments where I think you are, like, when you're in control, in the flow of, like, doing the thing that you really like, there's a moment where you're, like, really enjoying yourself and really enjoying the thing that you're doing and just maintaining that balance. And people love that. People love that in you, because there's a lot of people who can't create structure and can't feel comfortable trying to create something that is sustainable and keep it balanced, keep it sustainable. And you kind of, like, have this, like, you're jamming to your music. It's like someone's, like, got, like, 7 different things cooking, but they're just like, trying that, all right, need a little bit of that, but you're just got your music in the background. I don't know why my light shut off there. Hold on. Okay. Like, you're just kind of, like, on a Sunday afternoon, just, you know, vibing to, like, some music, and you just do a little stir, you know, flip that pancake, whatever, flip whatever's in the pan, and you're just, like, making some good grub for, like, a small little get-together that you're about to have. And it's nothing fancy, it's nothing crazy, but it's, like, you're in your zone, you're, like, your mood, and finding this, like, kind of, like, connection to finding your vibe in life. Not, like, vibe, but also, like, how do I word it in the less cheesy way? Finding your sense of self in your own life. And it is a wrapped around way of, like, falling in love with how you live life through understanding how happy people are when you're happy. But not costing anyone else's happiness for your own happiness. So what I mean by that is, if you want to be happy and you're like, oh yeah, people are happy when I'm happy, well, I'm just gonna go do all the things that make me happy. But in the meantime, you're, like, forgetting about other people, walking all over them, abusing people's kindness. Like, you can't really do all that and expect other people to be happy, kind of a thing. Like, no one's gonna be happy with that at the end of the day. But when people see you doing you and doing the things that you genuinely enjoy, they want to be around that, because they just kind of appreciate that someone has that energy, has that ability to provide that structure and that sustainability. Because it's almost like being like, Capricorn, I'm happy when you're happy. So if you like this cooking so much and it's so easy, what if we, like, I don't know, like, let's say you, like, Capricorn, cooking's your thing, and you're a nerd and you like D&D. This is an easy example because I'm a nerd and I like D&D and I kind of like cooking a little bit here and there. But it's almost like if some people were, like, say, like, you're a little bit into cooking more than, like, the average home chef kind of a thing. Like, you really just like making, like, fancy stuff and trying new things anytime you get a chance. And people see this in you and they're like, oh, what if we, like, bought some ingredients for you and, like, we helped you cook, like, this D&D themed, like, dish before each D&D session, kind of a thing. So you kind of, like, make it, like, a fun, like, oh, we're cooking, like, for the party, but it's not just you cooking, like, it's you and, like, other people could, like, help chop the vegetables or some shit like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to be enjoyably fulfilling to you, like, in your heart and your soul. And I think that's the biggest thing. The Hermit on the bottom of the deck again. 8 of Wands. We gotta wrap up this reading. We are talking about the same thing over and over again. And I know we are, but at the same time, you have to get it through your head. The only time that it's gonna show up this many times is A, I like to do the readings in this way, but B, sometimes the universe understands how stubborn we can get and how much we just have to really hold our own hands in life. It's almost like it doesn't matter how cheesy it feels to hold your own hand. because you almost feel cowardice when you don't choose yourself and choose to kind of, you know, hold your own hand, take the bull by the reins at your own pace, kind of a thing. Like, the Fool card with the Four of Cups is you can go into these new opportunities at whatever fucking pace you want. If you want to go a little fast and then slow down and then speed up again, go ahead. If you want to take the whole thing as slow as possible, that is your choice. If you want to go as fast as possible in this, be 110% honest with yourself. If you want to go slow, go at a mild 30%. Because if you're giving yourself that bit of energy, it allows yourself to at least be honest with yourself and remember and retain the information. So give yourself a good 30% if you want to take it slow. But you really are allowed to just, like, ease up on the gas pedal and step on it however fast you want when it comes to your own healing and your own new beginnings. Because I think the work that you have been doing this whole time, like currently, I want to say in these past like 8 months, it has been a lot of work on the soul, and you've constantly been like every time, like each month that went by, like of these past 8 months, it's almost like, and I'm filming this on August 1st, so we are literally 8 months into the fucking year. So thinking about this past year and trying to get a full, like, grasp of, okay, this month went by. All right, well, that's talking about that, and there's something there not quite getting, not quite seeing yet. But then you still kind of see it a little bit clearer in month 2, and then month 3 rolls around, and you're like, there's something about this, and you can't quite put your finger on it. And each month that came up, there was this thing that just, like, what is it? Like, what is, like, nagging at me? Or maybe asking yourself, why is this thing kind of, like, keep coming up in the mind? And it's because the whole point of all of the healing that you've been doing alongside of just being like, what is this? You know? Trying to understand what this little missing piece is. You've been doing healing along the side, and that being open to all of the healing at your own pace, I think is the big thing you needed to hear, and that most Capricorns, if you know a Capricorn, need to be reminded of. If you know a Capricorn or anyone who sounds like who I've been describing, please let them know and just remind them to take every single fucking thing at their own pace. It doesn't matter that they've been trying to do something for X amount of years and it hasn't resulted to shit. Keep at it. Keep working. Keep them motivated. And if you're a Capricorn and you're resonating with this, or just Capricorn placement and you're resonating with this, take your time. Take things at your own pace, because that's where you truly, I think, that's where you will truly understand how to define yourself. And define yourself to yourself, and understand that core part of you, because it's okay if you are like, oh, but I still want to do this, and I want to be this person, and I'm not that person yet. Don't worry about the future. Worry about everything that has come up to this moment in time. Every single little moment in your own history. And we're probably going to be repeating a lot of the things that we've said so far, but what is it with the Hermit reversed? What needs to be said? What does Capricorn need to hear for their highest good? Hermit reversed. 3 cards, please. Please and thank you. You don't need to listen to anyone but yourself, but at the same time, there's nothing wrong with taking people's advice into consideration, because you could take people's advice and ideas and work it into something that works for you. I think that's the big thing that actually will benefit you greatly, because you're going to take all these ideas and you're going to wonder, what the fuck do I do with all these different ideas? And people are saying this tarot reader is saying one thing. Take all of these things into a bucket of consideration and then go with what you think is going to work with you, what works with you, mind, body, and soul. And then, oh, hey, this person had this idea about that. And what if I could just kind of like take this little bit into my own thing and just add this little, almost like add a little like sprinkle of just these other ideas that you either have or other people have given you or other people have done. Because I think it's going to take a lot of weight of that advice. Like, I think sometimes when we ask for advice from people, we are just overwhelmed either by we're hearing the same old thing we heard. Sometimes we're getting the same, like, bit of advice that it's like, what do I do about this? And everyone's saying the same thing, and you're kind of wanting, like, a broader perspective on it. It takes the weight out of that, and it takes the weight of, what do I do of all these ideas, kind of a thing. It takes that off of you, but that's also when you truly are allowing yourself to like look at yourself and look at what is for you and what is not for you, because that's the only time you'll recognize, hey, I should probably not listen to everyone's idea, but I should at least take it into consideration, but not fully. Like, don't actually like pursue these ideas. Just be like, oh, well, what if I pursued something, like maybe someone's like, you should pursue this specific thing and you should pursue it this way, and you're like, oh, well, I could pursue something that way, but maybe not that specific thing. So the way that they wanted you to pursue it, you could pursue it elsewhere, you know, like in an avenue that you really want to follow. I think that's the biggest thing that really needs to be recognized, is what is for you and what's not for you. What truly has collectively made you come to all the decisions you've made currently, because something may have not felt right about certain choices you made in the past, and accepting that and moving on from it with grace and understanding how you can now choose better for yourself, that's the biggest difference in all of this healing. That is going to make the biggest difference. Okay, last card for the Hermit card here for Capricorn. Once you take all that weight off you, you will see all of the competition as like, oh, well, once I go out and actually, you know, modify some of this advice people have been giving me and use it towards my own advantage, the rest of the chaos doesn't seem so chaotic. And you just kind of are like, oh, I'm kind of seeing this from the outside looking in now and not the inside looking out. And I think that's the thing that's going to give you the biggest, like, broad perspective on all of this. Hold on, I'm gonna try and like sit up here so I can show you all the cards. All these wands that you don't have to carry anymore, but only they will open up to you only when you choose your own healing and actually move forward. You have all of the energy, Capricorn. I know you do. The Page of Wands is literally in reverse only because you haven't moved in this specific healing that the universe is like, you've been ignoring this and you haven't moved forward towards this in a long time, so it's time. It's time, Capricorn. And it is time for you to go out and choose yourself for once. So I want you to click off this video or this stream or wherever you're watching this and just go do something for yourself, even if it's something small, you know? But that is all I have for you. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me read your cards. And thank you to anyone that was watching live. We are still going to be continuing live, but I am going to end this recording. So thank you for being here. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day and night, wherever they are on this beautiful planet Earth of ours. And I'll see you in the next one.